Okay, so we're going to be looking at sweeps. Most of the explanation I actually do in the video itself. I'll be doing the odd bit of narration here on the voiceover just so that I can explain a few of the technical points I didn't get a chance to explain during the actual session. So I'm going to start it off now. The sweep, on this side first. Yeah. I want a nice low stance and I want to put my leg up behind you. I just want to put it down on the floor. Yeah? So it's not boom or bang or any of this stuff or hitting the ankle. I've got a nice low stance, I've got my leg behind, I step down and I just put my foot to the floor, I put my weight into the foot that's stepping down. One more time? So, most important thing to remember is not to balance on one leg and slide it out and do anything. It is literally to transition my weight from this leg here, to down on that leg. Yeah, and the legs will just fly out as my weight gets applied to the back. Okay. So, at the moment, my full body weight is resting on this one leg. I've got my centre of gravity here, and my full body weight's being held by that one leg as I'm doing the sweep. Now my centre of gravity is still here, and this leg is taking probably about 55% of my weight, and this leg, the sweeping leg, is taking probably about 45%. So I'm putting a good portion of my body weight into that leg, which is important because that's what's forcing my opponent's leg out. Okay. Reason I emphasise this part, apart from the fact that that sweep went particularly well, when I'm putting my leg across for a sweep, I am not trying to pick up this ankle with my leg. People often try that. They think that because the ankle is the furthest point from the head, then sweeping there will have the most effect. Actually, that's not the case at all. What I want to be doing when I'm actually trying to sweep across from, especially when I'm at the sideline there, is I want to be aiming my sweeping leg, which of course is this one. I want to be aiming that sweeping leg as far across as I can. So if possible, I want to make some sort of contact with this back leg. And what will happen with that is when I sweep across to hit that back leg, as you can see there, I've made contact with that back leg. That will automatically knock this leg. It will automatically knock her standing leg out of the way. Okay, so you're getting a good 2-for-1 there, where I'm hitting that back leg and at the same time knocking out the standing leg. So you'll see I get quite a lot of force on that, and she goes quite quickly. You can see both legs go flying out and she goes spinning around. She's going to try it on me now. You'll see here that it's not all about the fact I'm bigger than her and therefore it works, and if she was the same size or less then it wouldn't. That's not actually the case. Sweeps are sweeps, and they're working by applying your body weight to a percentage of the person's body. So let's watch her doing it. Okay. Yep. So when she's done it, you'll notice that it looks slightly different from me. Again, this is simply because, I'll put it in slow-mo, this is simply because she's applied more of her weight. Okay, but you'll see there it's the same principle. At the end of the movement, she's got probably in that case about 50% of her body weight on the sweeping leg, which is what's knocked my leg out from under me. And then she's got, in fact, there's probably about 60% on her sweeping leg and probably about 40% on her front leg, and she's just driving through with her hips, which is great, exactly what she should be doing. And in case there's any doubt, that wasn't me going down for her. She genuinely did knock my legs out there. The only criticism I have of this is the fact that she didn't get across very far. She only took the one leg. When you only take the one leg like that, the chances are that the other leg, the remaining standing leg, can sometimes compensate and make up for that weight. And then you get this scenario where you don't actually go down, you just stumble, or your knee buckles, but you recover. What she's done to counteract that is she's got a good underhook here. So at the same time as she's sweeping out that leg, she's dragging me forward with her underhook, and indeed on this second hand, which is almost an underhook as well. Sort of like a bicep tie stroke underhook thing she's got going on. So yeah, that's what basically takes me over in this instance, as you'll see. She uses that to pull me off balance as she's doing it. She steps through nicely. That one wasn't quite as clean, but you can see at the very least what she's done is she's got her foot inside of my stance now. So she's infiltrated my stance, which will obviously make me lose balance. And she catches my knee at the back of my knee. Again, ideally she would have gone across to try and get both legs involved so she could sweep out both legs, but she hasn't. She swept up the one leg and that's been successful. And again, I'm trying to demonstrate that if you reach across to that back leg, it's easier. In this case, I've actually used my hip a lot as well to knock her leg out of the way. Okay, so common mistakes. Again, the most common mistake is leaving your weight in your back leg, your standing leg, and thinking that you'll be able to somehow use the force of your hamstring to achieve the sweep. Now, you've got to remember that this is something where the person has got a good percentage, if not 100%, of the body weight spread between those two legs. So you're not going to be able to kick out 100% of someone's body weight with your hamstring strength alone. So you see that's what happens here. Now, if I freeze it here at the point of impact, you'll see that because she hasn't stepped through, probably about 80 to 90% of her body weight is still here. And the reason for that is because her center of gravity, which you can't really see because it's obscured by my body, is here, which is outside of my stance, and she hasn't really done very much to, she's not putting a lot of her weight into it, basically. She's just pulling with her leg. So you can see when she does that, most of her body weight's on her back leg, and therefore it's not going to bring me over.
And then someone has a bright idea.
Which is why I'm trying to demonstrate here, of course, in this demonstration of how it's not going to work. 100% of my weight in the back leg, and I'm just chopping away. Chopping away, and again, exactly the same thing. In that example, she's literally just swung her leg at the back of my leg. Not really any chance of me going down from that.
My weight's here so I don't fall over, and I'm here. Yeah. You lean your weight in.
Okay, so that's me just trying to demonstrate to her. Again, got to put your weight through. At that point of impact where you can see that her legs are buckling, I've stepped through and I put the majority of my weight on that sweeping leg, and you can see my hips shifting just slightly inwards while I'm doing it. So you can see my hips are shifting off to that angle into her body while I'm doing it. And that's what does it. in that instance, I was sweeping in the same way she was, only affecting the one leg, because that seemed to be her preference. And you can see I'm only sweeping out that one leg there. And again, the way to compensate for the fact that I can't get across to get the other leg in that instance is I've got a nice deep underhook and I'm controlling the arm. So when I actually do the sweep, I'm just doing slow motion here, you can see as I sweep it out, I'm controlling her upper body while I'm doing it. So I'd say if I was going to give a percentage to how much of that was sweep and how much of it was pull, I'd say it's probably about 80 to 90% sweep, and then you've got that 10 to 20% pull, just to help it on its way. That was a pretty good one from her, actually. Went down quite easy there. Okay, so inside variation, again, you can't always get behind them to get your proper back sweeps, so this is an easier position to get into. Unfortunately, it's a lot harder to finish because you haven't really got much in the way of your glutes working for you. A lot of this is hamstring, and the way you compensate for that, again, you've got your nice deep underhook, get a good grip on the back of that shoulder, like so, because you're going to have to do a bit more pulling in this. And what I'm going to do basically is I'm going to shoot this leg down behind her leg, and then as soon as I've got some sort of hook going on, then I'm going to pull it backwards. Okay, so I'm going to be going down behind and then backwards, as you'll see now. There you go. And I go back into my stance. Do the same for the body takedown. If you're not getting your takedown, you just go and you chop out the one leg. And this is just doing quite a good one. You can see she's throwing her body weight forward and then sweeping it back. This is slightly more judo-ish than the one that I tend to prefer, but there's certainly nothing wrong with it. And you'll see that she's throwing as much of her body weight as humanly possible into this sweep, so when it hits the back of my leg goes cannoning out. Boom. Knee buckles and I go down quite easily. And that's the sweep. So thanks for watching.